Anand Ranganathan. Anand Ranganathan, well, in that case, even the TMC could have gone to court. What prevented the TMC from going to the court? Because they have a trust deficit with the ED. They could go to court, get a stay on the ongoing searches and, just get on with the job of the political rhetoric. Why did the TMC not go to court? Why has the ED have to go to court? And what is in the green file?
Good evening, Navika, and good evening to my fellow panelists. Look, forget everything else. A sitting chief minister walks into a designated investigation and crime scene and walks away with a crucial piece of evidence live on camera, violating half a dozen BNS and PMLA sections and clauses, section 186, 201, 212, 17, that would have landed any other Indian in jail within an hour with multiple FIR slapped. And she is roaming free. Where is the Supreme Court? Under which bed has its pet named Suo Motu scampered and hit? One chief minister refuses to obey the court order twice and decides to impeach the judge who gave it. Another chief minister becomes an accessory to crime and violates Indian penal code with gay abandon. Is this the new definition of federalism, Navika? What more proof do you want? That we are living in a banana republic? Small mercy that Didi didn't storm the ED raid of Partha Chatterjee's premises 2 years ago in the teacher's camp and walk away with a sack of black money. She could have done that. But look, this is not the first time such abject mockery of law has happened under Didi. It is almost as though Bengal has been carved away into a separate country, the way in which India's investigative, electoral and security agencies are being treated there. Remember how ED officers were attacked and seriously injured and slapped with fake charges of sexual assault and rape when they went to raid TMC leader in Sandesh Khali? High Court had to intervene. Remember NIA officials being attacked when they went to probe a 2022 blast case? Remember the harassment of the Election Commission office in the last 2 months for simply doing their job? Remember BSF being refused land for securing our border? Remember CBI being detained when they went
what
to
happened? Why it happened? We gave you all the
please.
proof. Nothing is behind the curtain.
Please don't interrupt. I need 30 seconds. Please don't interrupt. I did not interrupt you. Obviously, look. But hey, Navika, democracy is alive and kicking. Now, number two, this is important. Look. Yes, our investigative agencies are not independent. I've always maintained this. The parrot has found a new shoulder. Yes, who they investigate is also not without a motive. But the fact is that the ED conviction rate on PMLA cases that our courts have made final adjudication on is 94%. The ED is putting behind bars the people who should be put behind bars. Unequal application of law or investigation is not an excuse for committing that crime. In this case, the ED is investigating a court-mandated order on a coal scam. Just 2 months ago, they raided 100 premises. This was a raid related to coal scam. And yet the CM rushes in, Navika, 10 seconds. They say the darkest hour is just before dawn. But where is the dawn? But remember dawns. Forget them. Where are all those New York Times and Washington Post lapdog reporters who accuse Modi of killing democracy at the drop of a hat? Where are they hiding?
Well, certainly, वो सुबह कभी तो आएगी, कब आएगी, there is no definition on that.
नविका जी, सुबह आएगी, शाम भी आएगी. But what is the credibility of ED? आप ये नहीं बोल रहे?
My friend, I am with you. You are questioning the credibility of ED. Please go ahead and do so, but do so in a court of law. I'm sorry. Nobody has the authority to take law into their own hands. Otherwise, we will be an anarchist state. And Faizan Kidwai, I want to ask you: Are you part of the Samvidhan Bachao Andolan, or are you part of the Samvidhan Breaking Andolan, which is now demonstrated live on camera in Bengal? I want to ask you, you have a problem with ED, be my guest, go to the courts. There is the Calcutta High Court, there is the Supreme Court, all of them are functioning, they are open, there is no vacation. Please knock on the doors of the courts. That is what people who believe and swear by the Constitution should have been doing. Otherwise, how are you different from those you accuse of breaking the Constitution? Please explain to the people of this country.
Good evening, Navika. Good evening to you and to the fellow panelists. First of all, Navika, Mamata Banerjee has explicitly said that the document which she took, those were her personal documents which had hard disks, candidate lists and internal strategy documents, and ED has no right over it because they cannot be used for coal scam probe or whatever scam probe. This is a violation of Article 19, which talks about freedom of association. So what ED was doing was unconstitutional, and Mamata Banerjee was well within her right to take these documents along with her. So first of all, Mamata Banerjee has done nothing wrong. But if you say, Navika, I just heard you saying that how can you stop a public organization from working, and this would be certain sections you evoked, they could be implemented against Mamata Banerjee. So why hasn't the same yardstick been followed for Ajit Pawar, whom we saw recently threatening a lady IS officer? Then there was Tejasvi Surya, who during COVID barged into the COVID war room, jeopardizing the life of individuals, of victims, of patients, and no action was taken against him, and he also humiliated 17 or 7
How is that comparable to a live raid that is going on, Faizan Kidwai? मुझे समझा दीजिए ना, how is that comparable to a live raid that is going on?
Nothing is comparable, Navika. I'll tell you what we should compare.
What are you saying?
Navika, what the way ED is acting now, gentlemen, Anand bhai, listen to me. Anand bhai, this is for your benefit. Since आप बीजेपी को सपोर्टर नहीं है ना, तो आप तो अच्छा बोलने आते हैं, for your benefit. तो July 21st, 2025, the Honorable Supreme Court cautioned ED that stop using ED as a political tool. It also asked Bharatiya Janata Party settle the political scores in elections, not by agencies. August 21, the Honorable Supreme Court expressed concerns, says the PMLA is being misused. And Navika, just see, on May 26, 2025, the Honorable Court said that ED is acting in violation of the country's federal structure.
Fantastic.
So nobody has any.
Fantastic. All the more reason you should have gone to court, my friend. All the more reason Mamata Banerjee and TMC should have gone to court. It is not my case that Mamata Banerjee, should not object. Of course she should object, but she should object in a forum that is meant to question the action of the ED, which is the courts of the land, which is the Calcutta High Court and the Supreme Court. But Nalin Kohli, why would they choose the other option? And Faizan Kidwai says Mamata Banerjee has said that there were names of all candidates and strategies. Why should anybody believe her and not the ED, which in its press release says that there was crucial evidence in those files that she's walked away with? It's a claim versus a claim.
So, Faizan Bhai makes some very interesting comments. First, he defines Mamata ji indirectly as a walking affidavit, because her word must be taken for the truth that whatever file she took was her very, very important personal material. Which now brings the next question. Bengal has reached a level that the Chief Minister has to keep her sensitive personal material in I-PAC's office. So do they also put the governance of Bengal in I-PAC's office? Do they transfer everything else to I-PAC? Because obviously Writers' Building, the great Writers' Building, is not safe enough to keep anything. And the Chief Minister's chamber certainly is not safe enough for keeping anything. Number 3, that there is an argument said that I-PAC is the IT cell of what you call the Trinamool Congress. IT as in the income tax related, chartered accountant related, finance related?
No,
or
sir.
is it the IT in terms of information technology? If it's information technology, then it again tells you that the Trinamool has no system of its own and therefore needs to look at a private entity. And last but not the least, the Chief Minister stopped working for Bengal, put aside her oath of the Constitution that she will serve the people of Bengal. She ran, and I'm sorry to put it as bluntly, she literally ran to I-PAC's office, and because she's the Chief Minister, intimidated with her presence, the officers took away forcibly something that was on an alleged scene of crime, and that material could be a critical evidence. How do you define it as your personal material? Because if it's your personal material, it couldn't have been there in the first place.
No, but Navika ji, please let me come in. Who is BJP to decide what what strategies are we going to make and from where are we going to make the strategies? Whether it's a candidate name or a BLO name or a BLA. Who is BJP? Who has given the
We are not
capacity
interested.
to decide?
We are not
No,
interested.
it is fine. It is
Please
you
don't
can
interrupt.
you
We're not interested.
can decide the place, but